guys, this week I'm filming on location at Carter Cave State Resort Park. We're going to be talking about cave safety here at Cascade Cave. Since we're filming inside of a commercial cave today, I'm not in my normal cave getup. I usually would have a helmet on and everything, but we're still here just to talk about some cave safety things. When most people think of dangers in a cave, they typically envision rocks falling from the ceiling and trapping them, or if you've watched too many scary movies, maybe you envision albino cave gorillas like those in The Descent. The actual dangers of caving are much simpler and easy to avoid if you follow a few helpful tips. Our number one cave safety tip is to never cave alone. The rule typically is a rule of threes, so that if somebody were to get injured, you have one person to stay with the injured party and another person to make their way out of the cave to go get help. Personally, I prefer to never cave in a group smaller than 4 or 5 so that you have more people going out to get help as opposed to one person by themselves, which seems like an additional risk. Our number 2 safety tip is to make sure you're aware of your group. This is more than just kind of asking everybody how they feel, but paying attention. If your friend who's usually really chatty starts not talking and shutting down, that could be a sign of hypothermia or another issue, so it might be wise to start making your way out of the cave. Additionally, be aware of yourself. If you're starting to get tired, do not hesitate to tell your group leader or the other people you're caving with that you're feeling tired or sluggish, because that's a good time for you to make your way out of the cave. Chances are, if you're feeling tired, somebody else in your group is too, and they're thankful that you spoke up. Our number 3 safety tip is to set up a call-out. A call-out is a person who's not on your trip and is not in the cave at all, but is aware of who's going caving, where you're going caving, and what time you expect to be out. This person should also have the number of your local safety and rescue departments in case of an actual emergency. Our 4th safety tip, and this is a big one, we do not run, jump, or roughhouse in caves. The entire reason for this is that those things tend to lead to injury, and while something like a twisted ankle might not seem like a big deal above ground, when you're underground in a wild caving situation, you are typically very, very far from an entrance, and if you hurt yourself like a twisted ankle, you now have to figure out how you're going to get back above ground so you can get to help. Our number 5 tip kind of goes along with number 4. When you're caving, you always want to keep 3 points of contact. So this could be like your butt and your 2 hands if you're sliding down on something, or typically your 2 feet and your hand on a wall to kind of help keep your balance. 3 points of contact makes it a lot less likely that you're going to slip and fall as well. Our number 6 tip is to know your cave. This is more than just knowing where you're going, but having an idea of where inside of the cave you're going and what the passages look like. If you know how to read a cave map, that's a great start, and you should always make sure you have a cave map with you. A lot of times on beginner trips, you're going to be with somebody else who knows the cave. So basically just make sure someone knows where you're going, because it greatly reduces the likelihood that you're going to get lost. Our number 7 and 8 cave safety tips kind of go together, and I'm going to lump them both under be prepared for the cave environment. Our number 7 tip is about hypothermia. So caves are the same temperature year-round. It's the average temperature of the surface is the temperature of the cave. So here in Kentucky, our caves are a balmy 58 degrees all year round, which means that they're pretty chilly. And they get even colder if, say, you're sitting on a cold cave rock, because that cold rock's going to suck all of the heat out of you. A lot of people don't realize this when they go caving and are underprepared and wear like t-shirts and shorts or other things that aren't necessarily going to help keep them warm. So dressing appropriately is very, very important. And then because caves are typically wet, I always like to bring an extra layer in a Ziploc baggie in case my core were to get wet, so that I can change out and have something dry on my core so that I don't get cold and potentially get hypothermia. Our number 8 tip is about light. So in case you didn't know, caves are one of the 3 places on Earth where you can get complete and total darkness. It's so dark that your eyes will never adjust to it. Because of this, carrying an appropriate number of sources of light, as well as extra batteries, is very important. Never go into a cave with only one source of light, because if that source of light goes out, you will not be able to see. Your eyes will not adjust to the darkness, and you will not be able to find your way out, at least not easily. I hope this video has made you guys a little bit more aware of how to stay safe when you're caving. If you have any additional safety tips for our viewers, don't be shy and leave those in the comments below. If you liked this video or think that other people that you know would find it helpful, you can share and subscribe with those buttons down there. And we'll see you next week. Bye, guys.